All right, job interview. Hi, Mary.
Yeah, hi Jay. Okay, that's better.
Okay.
Um, just a couple of questions. Tell me why you applied.
So right now, I'm actually a master's graduate. I'm a recent grad from my MBA in finance, and wanted to start looking for work and seeing what jobs are available out there in the market. And right now, I'm currently unemployed and wanted to branch out and try to apply for positions. And You were one of the first of many that called me, so I really appreciate your call back and to schedule an interview.
No, of course. So you've been working with tax since 2005.
Yes, so that was my first job. I worked at a tax firm, and the only year that I did not work it was when we hit 2020 because of COVID. Because I had two jobs, and I worked for Kaiser Permanente, and because of the COVID pandemic, the accountants there at the tax firm were a little worried that I would, it was a different time back then. They were worried that I would, um, expose them and I would bring something back from the ER into the office. So, that's kind of when I took a leave and, wasn't able to go back because that's actually when I started my master's school. And I just put school as my number one focus.
Yeah, and then the options trader is something that you were doing on your own.
Yes, I've been. I actually did that today, this morning. I do that. I've been doing that since 2021. Oh, it's been exactly 2 years now. Yeah, October 21 was when I started, and now we're in October 23. So I pretty much look at market trends.
Okay.
I do options trading. I used to do equities, buying shares, selling. The only thing I didn't really do was crypto. I mainly do the, stock market strategies, things like that.
What do you think you ultimately want to do, Jay? Because I don't think this is the role for you.
Okay, but you're the
This
one
is
that
an
called me.
admin task. No, I'm just curious. If I can help you, I will. That's why I'm asking you. I'm not for you to be defensive.
Right,
If
right.
I
No,
can help you, I
oh no,
will.
I'm not trying to get adversarial. But I'm in finance, ma'am. Typically, finance is related to many different things: accounting, obviously finance analysts, and you know, I started off working at a tax firm. I did bookkeeping. I did. We used to do audits, and obviously stock market was something that's related to all of that with the economy and everything. And I like to mix it all, and I like to mix all of these things. Obviously I can't work in a stock market hedge fund because I don't have any series licenses, and I still haven't even taken my SIE exam. And you know obviously the FINRA, I can't do that yet. I have to be working and I have to be sponsored. So typically what I'm doing right now is looking for employment because I've been out of the job market since I graduated. So I've been open to different, topics like, you know, anything in finance, anything in accounting. Accounting and finance is related. Therefore, that's why I started to apply for those jobs as well. And taxes has to do a lot with that as well. And I do have a CTEC license, so you know, I what I did at the tax firm was mainly tax preparation for like short forms, long forms, and things like that. The only thing I never did was corporate taxes because
Okay. No,
because I'm not a CPA.
no, I appreciate that. It's just that I can't present you to my client only because it seems like your work history is a bit all over the place. But I was asking if I could help you. That's
Uh,
what it sounds
yeah,
like. If I can help you as well.
but when you say all over the place, I'm apt to learning. Because I'm a fast learner. I like to um, work in different areas because all of that is related to finance. That's why I have a finance degree. I have an emphasis. My MBA is in finance. I don't have a general MBA. I don't specialize or focus on one thing. I focus on, you know, many strategies. My MBA in finance is an umbrella to including mergers and acquisitions. I was working, obviously in that, when I was going to school, we did, risk management, we did real estate. I was going to get my real estate
I hear
license,
you.
and I do
But when
property
you said
management.
that I hear you. But when you were an options trader for yourself, right? You were just trading your own money. Is that what you were doing?
Yes, yes. But I also did other people's as well. I would give, indicators, and obviously I would send hits that would go up in value, and I would obviously alert when to cash out. But I mainly do it for myself. I also do on the side, this just on my own. Sometimes I tutor people who want to learn about stock market options trading strategies because they don't know. I'm in the West Coast. We don't really have that here, so there's not a lot of people that know that around this area. And what I typically do was I would just charge for lessons. I would charge for how to use the apps that I use, like Bookmap, TradingView, and whatever app they wanted. For example, if they wanted to do Robinhood or Webull or Thinkorswim, which I use and recommend, I would obviously charge for that. And I know how to do all of that.
So this person, Tom Bank's director of U.S. equity sales training at Jefferies, is he someone that can help get you a job?
That's my brother-in-law. But again, so he's a reference, but you know, I'm just gonna quote what he told me. As a brother-in-law, he even said, "Yeah, I wouldn't be able to hire you because, you have to have a series license, and you haven't even taken the SIE yet. But as far as that goes, if you did, if you had FINRA, the SIE, if you had even at least one series licenses, yeah, I can definitely, set you up with an interview. But if you don't have that, there's nothing I can do, and which is understandable. It's true, and that's just something that I wish that my university would have taught us. There are many students that have actually brought that up for a class action. That why aren't they telling us this? Why aren't they, giving us classes on, those licenses, or how to pass it, or at least a class on it where if you pass, you get, your license or certificate, something, right? And, we didn't know that till we left. I didn't know what that was. And I overheard someone, and it was too late. I was already in my capstone thesis, ready to graduate, and it's just how it is. They probably should have been more transparent with students, but that's not something that's my fault, right? That's just something that I tell people now. As an adult, like if I could do it all over again, this is what I would have done. This is what I would have taken. This is what I would have studied for instead of this, and that. And or I would have done this on weekends.
No, I hear you. It's unfortunate. Like I said, I want to steer you in the best direction. Obviously, I think that this role isn't good for you. But,
well,
I think that if you're... Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say I'm sorry I wasted your time then. But I've been transparent on everything that's on my resume.
You didn't waste my time, Jay. Jay, hold on one second. I'm just trying to help you. I already know that I couldn't move forward with you, but I'm only staying with you on the call so I can just give you some of my expertise to help you. I don't care if I don't get you the job. I'm just trying to help the young man out. That's it.
Oh.
If you don't want my advice,
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. So what I would do is, if you want to take your brothers-in-law's advice and it's not cost prohibitive to do those series, then I would do it. What I would do though is, because you graduated in 2023, right?
Yes.
I would have moved the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim only because it looks like you did it for yourself, and I see that you did it for yourself and some other people, right? But you manage a brokerage account of over $100,000. I think you know this being in finance, right? That $100,000 is something that someone makes in a month, right?
Right. Of course. Right?
So I just, what I'm saying to you, my advice to you, Jay, is that you should put things there that add value, right? So maybe the Kaiser Permanente adds value, and it makes sense that you just graduated. But if you want to pursue something in finance, then I would listen to your brother-in-law's advice. Only because I don't think that the TD Ameritrade adds value to your resume. That's it.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I emphasize strategies in finance is because again, like you saw the Kaiser Permanente, I don't want to get into healthcare. I'm not trying to go back into healthcare. I obviously resigned for a reason, and it's not something I wanted to do, and it's not something that I was happy with, and it just wasn't for me. Look, if you're a nurse or a doctor, PA, NP, it's gonna be the best place in the world, but I'm not, like medical is not my expertise. I understand it. I was able to communicate it. I was able to bring strategies into healthcare, which I used to do. You can do finance in healthcare. They have a finance, administration, department side, obviously, right? But typically a lot of them, like 90% of them, have RN backgrounds, and switched over to business because they don't want the like the patient care aspect anymore, the bedside manner and all that, which is why I emphasize the last two departments. There were more departments that I did, but typically that's kind of why I emphasize the remote job, to show that I've done a remote job before, and I didn't steal anything. I was honest, because there are a lot of people that work remote and they steal from the company, right? And they could at least call that manager and say, how was he? Was he honest? Did he, was he ethical? And the other one, was the Comtax one. It was a tax firm, and I still have, I want to say like project management pool there. I was never fired. I'm still technically there.
My question is, can you go back to Comtax?
I could go back today. I mean, I'm typically there now. I just had a bunch of new clients that signed on because of me. I actually did the seminar. I actually did the recommendation, and my boss, who is the the president of the place, the owner, founder, everything, has seen that like your strategy is better. Like you can make more money and make more money for me and the company if you don't work here. If you are out there doing what you're doing, is signing people on, having these meetings, giving the consultations, giving the marketing of the place. You're pretty much selling. Like you're pretty much in sales, and you're bringing on a huge clientele, and it helps everyone. You bring clients, tax clients, bookkeeping clients, audits, corporations, things like that. And but typically, if you want to know where the office is, where I was teaching, for example, like the students in stock market, I still go to that one. That's actually where I do it. It's in the back. I have my own office there, and but to be specific, I don't.
In my interview, do you get paid enough of a salary at Comtax to survive, or you don't? It's like
No. Oh, no. No, because it's more like freelance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So like,
give you a couple $100 here and there.
Per client, yeah. But I do bring on a lot. Believe me, when I say that, I'm probably the only one there that does all that. I do all the social media content, to bring them in, and as far as like the taxes goes, like, look, I'm going to be very specific. If he was to die today, I'm pretty much taking over.
Okay, can I give you one last word of advice?
Sure.
If you want to really get a job in finance, what I would do is I would remove Kaiser Permanente, I would remove TD Ameritrade, and I would just have your resume be audit consultant, tax preparer, contact, tax seasons. Just put 2005 to present. Don't put tax seasons. Just put 2005 to present. And then I would increase your bullet points by at least 10. So your resume for all of your work history only is contact.
So the only problem with that is that, I know a lot of these companies don't like it when, you have a huge gap of, not working. And, pretty much.
It's a huge gap if I'm telling you to put 2005 to present.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, I could do that too. But,
I'm just telling you optically, right? So this is me helping just a young man out, Jay, and I have to move on to another call. But
okay.
My advice to you is, if you want to really be seen by a recruiter or those that in the talent acquisition in-house of HR, and you want to pursue something in finance, I would only put contacts I would put 2005 to present, and I would at least have at least 10 to 12 bullet points.
Okay, I'll do that now.
That's just my advice to you, because I can see that you really want to pursue finance. I can see that you're a hard worker, right?
I mean, I am, in everything that I do. That's kind of what I try to show in the resume, that if it's healthcare, if it's janitorial, I'm going to be a hard worker no matter what I do. But, it wouldn't.
I hear you, but you see what I'm saying optically? Like, if
I
you
do.
want to pursue finance, right? Like, the people like me are scanning for certain things. I gave you a call just because I saw the audit consultant and tax preparer 2005 to present, and I wanted to know what that was about. That's why I gave you a call. But now that I'm on the phone with you, and I can see you're a hard worker, I can see that you really hustled hard to graduate with an MBA. I just want to give you some word of advice, even if I don't place you. That's just my word of advice to you.
I see. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought, for example, this was for a position you were calling about. My miscommunication. I'm sorry.
It was. No, you're right. You were right. This was for a position I was calling about. So as I do the screening, right, as I get clarity, and I figure out if I want to move the person forward or not. Then you started saying some of these things about contacts, and I started understanding what happened with the ward clerk transcriber, and then you confirmed the option trader was something you did on your own. I understand. Like, you're just trying to pivot careers, right, in finance.
Yes, so
that
is correct. But the only thing is that, for example, my look, I'm going to give you a very good example. If you look at the bachelor's, that was management and HR, because Kaiser does have management and HR. Unfortunately, I don't have work hands-on experience in that, so I wasn't able to land anything. That was when I took the career move to go back. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. Even before my MBA in finance, I was going to go to law school, and I was accepted and everything. I saw the bill, freaked out, got scared, ran away. Should have never done that, right? I go for my MBA in finance, and now I'm having, for example, trouble, finding a career in that field. But as far as MBAs goes, that's the thing is that I didn't go to a bad school. Cal State Fullerton is hard to get in and hard to get out of, and although, like I said, I didn't take the SIA, FINRA, or series licenses, I can't work in hedge funds, right? So I have to kind of like lowball myself, work somewhere that will sponsor that, and then I can do that in the future, which is fine, because like, you saw my resume, I do options trading anyway on my own. And, like I said, finance is the umbrella. They teach you how to be good at everything, any kind of work that you do, accounting, finance, stock market strategies, bonds, equities, mergers and acquisitions, ERM, all of that.
Are you talking about school?
Well, yes, but as
okay, but can I tell you something? If your resume looked the way you did, and you got an MBA from Harvard, my conversation with you would still be the same. Right?
Not necessarily. I mean, Harvard and Cal State is two different spectrums.
No, but I'm telling you optically from my side of you, right? That if you graduated from Harvard with an MBA, but your resume optically looked all over the place, I still would give you the same advice, even if you graduated from Harvard.
Well,
what I'm telling you is.
I appreciate that, but again, I want to show experience in many fields. I'm 36. I'm not 21. I've been, all over the place.
But Jay, this is my last word of advice to you, because I hear you. I acknowledge everything you're saying, but I'm telling you from my side of you, which is the client side of you, what they're looking for. They're looking for continuity in work history. Not in terms of just the years, but in terms of the industry. So I'm telling you, if you want to pursue finance, I would just only have the contacts on it. That's it. You don't have to defend yourself to me. You didn't do anything
Oh,
wrong.
I'm not defending myself. All I said was, well, stock market related strategies and those areas and fields and sectors, are related to finance. That's why I put that. But because I do it on my own, I guess it doesn't count. So if okay, I'll take it off. I appreciate your advice.
But Jay,
Uh-huh.
you're a grown man. You need to do what you think is best for you. I'm just giving you some free advice from what I do every day of my life as a senior vice president. That's it. That's it. You don't have to take my advice. If I could help you, I would. I do this with people all the time.
Right.
If I find a young man or a young woman that's hardworking, but they're not getting hits on their resume, I'll give them some advice. That's it.
I don't think it should be.
That's the deal of the day.
I don't think it should just be about the resume. I think it should be about the ethic and the hard work of a person that is also able to help that company that's going to help him or her and bring in money to their company.
Know that about you.
Excuse me?
How is someone going to know that about you?
Because I just told you.
I know that about you.
I just told you.
The time to talk to you.
Right, but I just told you about what I did for Comtex, what I did for Kaiser, what I did for, which I didn't really get into, what I did for Lending USA, what I did for, people that wanted to invest their money, in options trading or a Roth IRA, 401ks, things like that. So. I think I've helped people all my life, including real estate. I also do property management, which is for myself, and I do not have on my resume. But, if you want to talk about income, I could, go over what I make there, renting a property of mine,
Jay, the point of this is what? Is that you want to get in front of these hiring managers and tell them how hardworking you are? The truth is that it's very sad. You're right. That people are only optimally, they're looking at the resume. That's how they give you a chance to talk to you. So that's all I'm telling you, right? I know that you're hardworking.
Thank you.
That you're hardworking, but what are you trying to convey to me? That because
I'm trying to convey that.
To my clients?
No. I was just trying to convey that. Hey, I'm not one of those. Oh, he only looks good on paper. Like, no, that's not what I was trying to do. Hello?
Okay, so tell me the takeaway from this call for you.
The takeaway of this call for me was, I believe I just got a call from someone who told me to re-edit my resume, and okay, if that's what you'd like me to do, I mean, I can do that. But let's just say I did that now. Would that change?
But don't do it for me. Even if you re-edited your resume, Jay, I couldn't present you to my client because what my client is looking for is steady work experience in both admin and tax. That's what my client is looking for. I couldn't.
Which is why I left the Kaiser. I did admin my whole life there.
I think we're going down just the path that I don't want to go down.
Okay.
I'm trying to give you some advice. I can't present you to my client.
Okay.
And it's okay. Like if you don't want to move forward with advice, please don't. You don't have to.
No, I'm saying I am. I'm saying okay. If I re-edit it now, would that change anything? And if it doesn't, then why did you present that?
I do that with everyone, Jay. I do that with everyone. So because I'm giving you some advice based on what I deal with my clients.
Uh-huh.
That's it. It was just some advice to you, to a young man that I can see is trying to work hard. That's it. I don't have the time to do this, but I do it if I see someone's really working hard. That's it. It's not for you to change your resume for me to present you. It's just letting you know, you're right. If you're telling me that you're getting lots of advice and people are reaching out to you, then by all means, go with the direction that you've been going in. Right? Because I don't know that background. Maybe you applied to 30 places and all 30 people responded to you. It's fantastic.
Right.
I'm just saying if they haven't responded to you, I think it's optically because of your resume. That's it. All of it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it's not hard to re-edit anything. All I was just telling you was why it was on there. But I mean, I could re-edit it. It's no problem. I'm not offended by it or anything like that.
It wasn't meant to offend you, Jay. It was meant.
No, I'm saying I'm not. I'm saying I'm not.
Job search.
Right.
I'm just saying that I can't help you with this particular role.
Oh, okay.
But if you were open to some advice, and you weren't getting any other advice, and I think it's because optically the resume is reading as jumpy, meaning jumpy not in terms of years, but jumpy in terms of just like the different career buckets. That's it. Okay?
You know, at the time, that's all we had. You know, that's all I had, in you know, those
Jay, I hear you.
those days.
I'm not questioning you.
Yeah,
I'm not questioning you, Jay. That's it.
yeah.
Okay? Like I
Okay.
said, I wish you the best of luck. You do not have to listen to me at all. It was just me trying to help a young man out that I could see really, really tried hard, like, to keep pivoting his school. That's it. That was just my compassion. That's all it was. It wasn't anything more than that. Okay?
Okay, sounds great. Thank you for this call, and I really appreciate your advice. And you know, I sense your compassion. Thank you so much. What the fuck? And she just clicks on me, bitch.